Hi guys, this is Joel from Overlandkings and welcome to another episode of Rig Builds. So this is a segment of our YouTube channel where we want to show you just how to get you started with your overland adventure with the type of vehicles that we have. Today, what we have for you is a 3-door Jimny, which is a very popular choice if you're into overlanding. The Jimny is very popular because of its off-road capability. Part of it is because of its solid axle. It has a full-time 4-wheel drive system, and with a little bit of upgrade that's properly done, you would get a very, very comfortable rig. So let's go check this out. Let's start with the exterior of the Jimny. When we're setting out these types of vehicle, weight and dimensions are very, very crucial. So first up, we installed an OME suspension. That is actually a 40mm lift. So this is from ARB. It's the Night OME or Old Man EMU suspension. So this is perfect for the Jimny with load, of course, so that it could carry all the gear that we have on top. Let's start with the wheels and tires. So the owner decided to stick with the stock Jimny rims, but we have upgraded it with the BFG Goodrich KO2s, which is a 235 R15. What's the middle number? It is a 75. All part of the game. So moving on with the 40mm suspension, let's move on to the top of the vehicle. So up top, we have equipped the Jimny with a front runner load bar. And you can see we have, of course, put together a PIA lights, which includes the pod light. And it also has the 40-inch LED light and light bar on the top, so that when on your off-road trails, when it's night and it's dark, you'll be able to see clearly around the surroundings, especially on those narrow trails. Moving on, to take care of the exterior and the top, we have equipped the Jimny with the iCamper Mini. Now, the Mini is quite fit for the Jimny because it's also, in terms of hard shells, it's one of the lightest in the realm of hard shells. Of course, if you compare a hard shell with a soft shell tent, definitely hard shells would be heavier than your soft shells. But there is a trade-off. Always when we're running with the hard shell tents, it gives you more flexibility and efficiency when you're setting up and packing down. In our experience, you should be able to get this up in about 15 seconds. And packing down, maybe a little over a minute, just to make sure you have all the tent poles back in its location. Of course, the quality of the iCampers are renowned because of its 2-year warranty, and all the parts are handmade. So therefore, if you need to service this tent, we'll be able to service it down the road. Up top on the front runner, we have equipped this with a front runner quick release tent mount. So what that does is, if you're not using this car for overlanding or it's not camping season, you can easily take this out and store it here at Overlandkings or in your garage in your house. Let's move on to the other side. On the other side of the roof tent is, of course, the shade. And we have equipped the Jimny, which we believe is probably the best shade for this size of car. This is called the Mammoth Switchblade 180-degree awning. By its nature, it opens 180 degrees. This is a 2-meter awning, but when it's closed, it fits perfectly in the frame or the cab of the Jimny. It's also equipped with lights on both sides, and the brackets are also included. If you want to expand your awning, there is an optional accessory that velcros to the side, which converts this little space into your own bedroom as a tent. That's on the top of this Jimny. Let's move on to the interior of this vehicle. Let's talk about custom parts that we have installed on this Jimny to make your adventure pretty cool. First up is, of course, a Jimny-specific drawer system. But what's the beauty about this is we don't put any holes in your Jimny. In short, if you decide to take this out, we'll be able to bring this back to stock. Back to stock. On the right side of this drawer system is a 15-liter fridge from Overlandkings, which will lower down to negative 10 degrees, more or less, meaning your drinks will always stay cold. But the beauty about this is, of course, our renowned Overlandkings lighting kit, which you will see here so that the whole back is illuminated. The drawer system in the back is equipped with a fridge slide. So if you have any other gear, you could make this a table or as a platform for you to work on if you're out there. And of course, the drawer, when you open up, very full from the owner. So this is something that you would be able to maximize if you have a drawer system. The side kits have been customized so that we could run the EcoFlow alternator charger together with the EcoFlow Delta 2, which powers the dual battery of this Jimny. If you haven't heard the EcoFlow Delta and alternator combo, we believe it's one of the best portable combinations to get you out there at least for a whole weekend. It's powerful enough to run your Starlink, probably your coffee maker, your sandwich press, and all probably that you will need to charge with your cell phones and your laptops. That system will be able to run it. To finish up the customization, let's look at the things that we have put on the doors and the mirrors of the Jimny. On the side door, we have equipped it with a drop-down table that we bolted down to the rear door of the Jimny. But this allows you just extra table space that be able to put your drinks, your tissue, or all other stuff. Because when you're in a campsite, a lot more table space or tabletops is crucial to make things that you could, just bring around. You could put it somewhere. Speaking of tables, the shelf on the top of the Jimny is a table that you could drop out, and it converts to another table which has a dual purpose, especially for this rooftop. It's called a rear shelf. So it's not just a shelf, it drops down and converts to a table. Let's move on to the last part of this build. We have customized an emu wing, which is a gull wing from, it's called emu wing. And the gull wing converts the side glass into a gull wing for the Jimny. But the beauty about it is Overlandkings has made its own side box and carpeted up and actually put the 12 volt and the 220 into this system. So you'll be able to access your 12 volt if you're charging your phone. If you have your tablet, you can leave that there. You'll be able to charge it right there. And last but not the least, we have got a Bush Tech drop-down table, which you can just hang on the top of the emu wing and convert this rear space into another functional space for your tables for this little Jimny. At the end of the day, when you're setting up a Jimny, it's about space maximization. And we believe all of the things we put here has a purpose in mind. Not just putting all the gear on the car, but making sure that every little part with a limited amount of space has its own use. So to summarize this Jimny 3-door build, we've talked about suspension, we've talked about the storage system, we've talked about the roof systems for your sleeping, we've talked about roofs, awnings, and the power systems that will power your weekend, that will make your adventure out there much, much more fun. So if you'd like to get started on your own overland journey with whatever rig you have, maybe it's a Jimny, maybe it's a Land Cruiser, or maybe any pickup in between, do drop by Overlandkings and we'll be happy to set you guys up. If you haven't liked and subscribed, do hit the buttons here on the top and on the left, and we'll be happy to show you the next rig builds that we will be doing in the shop. Thank you so much for watching, and do share the word around. This is Joel from Overlandkings, and we will see you on the next rig build adventure. See you later.